we are at the 4th World Summit on Accreditation, which has been organized by NBA in Delhi, and we have the pleasure of joining Professor S.C. Sahasrabudhe. So, sir, can you talk a little bit about what's your current role and how are you trying to bridge the gaps, or let's say trying to transform through your efforts?
My current role, I'm now retired from my earlier job.
Okay.
So I work with NBA,
Okay.
essentially to improve the accreditation processes.
Okay.
And these are very important in modern times because the world pays attention and looks for graduates who come from accredited programs.
Okay.
Right? Even visas and jobs are getting related to whether you come from an ordinary program which is not accredited or you come from an accredited program. So my contribution at the moment is towards NBA's accreditation systems being better, more robust and up in line. Many times for government.
Okay.
And in the beginning when I started consulting with the industry, it was considered to be not good for a faculty member to do that.
Okay.
So, that mindset in the early 70s. But that was wrong and, times change and it has worked out fine.
Wonderful. So you spoke about, the kind of role that you played, especially on the telecom side of it. So what is your, take about the present state of telecom in India? Because we have seen, the kind of disruption which is being created by a, new, player altogether, which is Jio.
See, you should not talk of telecom as a disruptive technology, though it has disrupted a lot of companies. Look at the way the mobile phone has reached the Indian population.
Okay.
The mid-servant who comes to your house has a smartphone.
Okay.
Right? Could you think of this 20 years back when getting a phone connection was impossible?
Absolutely.
In Bombay, you had to wait for 20 years to get a phone connection. So technology has enabled communications beyond the widest imagination of anyone. Now, I remember some years back, I had to make a call from New York to home. I use a payphone and dial, and I had to pay something like $4 or $5 for a 3-minute talk. Today, I talk to my granddaughter for half an hour without paying a penny. So, look at the positive side of what telecom has done, technology has done. It has made your life richer. Anybody can communicate with anyone, irrespective of your status in society. And don't you think that it's a great addition? Instead of considering it as a disruptive technology, right? It disrupted in the sense some businesses had problems. That's fine. That's the way the world works.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. So, when in terms of the OBE model, which is currently being very popular in India, what's your take on it? How do you see
I think it is the way to go ahead.
Okay.
Because it is very objective and quite quantitatively determines the quality of education. And once you have agreed as to what kind of good engineers, I'm talking primarily in engineering context, what kind of good engineers would be, then I think OBE is the right way to go. There are difficulties in reaching out to people, right? But I think that we will be able to solve.
And sir, how would it be different from a conventional engineering pattern or the education system
very
that
different,
has been?
very differently. See, conventional engineering, we would teach what we thought was right without ever being able to ascertain whether it actually happened. In OBE, you determine what ought to be done, and then at the end determine whether it actually happened. So you are sure when you say at the end that this program is good, you're sure that it has happened. So that certainty is the great strength that the OBE model gives.
So sir, in a way this is something, a new kind of education system in itself.
It's a new paradigm.
It's a new paradigm. So has that particular method or methodology or that approach has already been accepted and imbibed into the system?
The world over.
And we have also started.
Yeah, we are also using it for some time.
Okay.
But 3/4 of world's population comes under Washington Accord, and it's a standard process for them to do accreditation using OBE's outcome-based model. So it is very dominant at the moment. It is good. It is difficult, right? But so what?
And would there be any specific institutes who are following OBE model, or it is, primarily being driven by the government units, or it is?
Government contract. And accreditation process requires that you show outcomes, right? Attainment. But that's about all. It's for you to do it. If you want accreditation, you have to show that the program outcomes which NBA specifies are actually attained by your program.
Okay.
No enforcement, no forcing function of being applied, but it's a good way to handle things, and all good institutions would very naturally fall for it.
Okay. And that's what NBA is typically doing these days.
We do our accreditation primarily on that.
One question onto your personal side. Right now, your time, your time is going into majorly into what activities, what things.
You see, part of it I give to NBA for accreditation, but I also do other technical activities,
Okay.
which I have not given up, and do a little bit of management activities.
Okay.
So even though I'm technically retired, I think I'm still busy 3 or 4 days a week. So you can say he is enjoying a long weekend of 3 days.
So what's your message to the startups, sir? Because this is something, India is witnessing a huge, upsurge of, new age entrepreneurs coming into the scenario and, doing their role in terms of, ensuring that the country, moves to a different and a progressive kind of a scenario. So what's your take on it? What's your message to the company?
This is very simple. If you have the spirit of entrepreneurship and you have a spirit for adventure, then the correct way for a graduate engineer to go about is to start his own enterprise.
Okay.
Not only very often you are successful, and not only you create a venture, but you also create jobs for many others, which is a good value addition. So for all young people who have graduated, who have a little spirit to take a little bit of risk and have an understanding of entrepreneurship, one only message that I would like to give is keep a keen eye for your business, plan. Money is an important aspect, not only technology. If just because you make a good product doesn't mean you will be successful, unless you have a proper business plan to back it up. But if you have both, all the best.
Last question, sir. Which are the technologies which you see where most of the startups would be coming in the next 3 or 5 years? Which are the sectors, which are the technologies that you see, promising for these?
I have, of course, a biased view of the world.
Okay.
I must admit. But I see tremendous opportunities in the world of IT and electronics.
Okay.
Both will see major changes in the days ahead.
Okay.
And an entrepreneur can certainly come with a novel solution, and the world will accept it.
Okay.